Hey guys, how's it going? It's Will with day 21 of my Inktober, and today's character is going to be Miss Cassandra Cain. She's one of the Batgirls that assumed, original girls that assumed the role of Batgirl at one point. I'll give you her story in a second. Just want to do some quick housekeeping. First of all, comments are greatly appreciated. As some of you may or may not know, I am doing a comment contest for this month of October. At the end of the month, I will be doing each week. Of course, I do a drawing. I do a drawing each Monday, and I'll pick the random names in, and then whoever's name gets selected would be one step closer to winning the Inktober sketchbook I'll do in November. And so then at the end of that, at the end of October, I'll pick that. I'll put those names back in a drawing, and one of those people will get that sketchbook. So of course, as long as of course, I can get it sent and all that fun stuff, get your information, and then send it to you. So anyway, I wanted to remind everybody of that, and also if you're, as long as you're commenting, whether it's on the live stream or whether it's after the fact, we'll count it either way. So second, if you like what I'm doing, like, comment, subscribe, share these videos. I greatly appreciate it. I really need to be making sure I'm putting these on a playlist so that way they're all there together for 31 days. I haven't probably done that the last few days, so I need to make sure to do that. So anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Miss Casandra Cain. Now, Miss Cassandra Cain is the daughter of David Cain, who is an assassin who works with the League of Shadows, and then Lady Shiva, who is probably, as far as DC is concerned, she's one of the baddest women on the planet. I know Ronda Rousey is the baddest woman on the planet, WWE uh, and MMA and stuff. But when it comes to DC, there's only one baddest woman, and that would be the wonderful, the beautiful, the dangerous Lady Shiva. And so David Cain and her had a daughter, and they trained her in every way to basically be the ultimate assassin, the ultimate assassin, and ultimate bodyguard for one Ra's al Ghul. Some of you, who probably watched the Batman movie, saw Ra's al Ghul, played, of course, by the incomparable Liam Neeson. And see how many people get that reference. But anyway, so Cassandra, was trained by her dad for the longest time to just basically speak through her actions. So she was never truly taught how to speak for a long time. So for the longest time as a character, she didn't talk. All of her speaking was through her movements. She would have to convey everything. It was interesting when I saw David Scott draw her because a lot of times he was using her actions and her movements to show what she was actually saying. And she didn't have any dialogue for the longest time. I mean, it was like a year or two where she just didn't talk because literally everything she did was based on her movement. So then one day, she fought Lady Shiva, and somehow in that battle, she got so drained physically that she lost the ability to fight that way, the way she fought. And so there was a point where she had to earn that back. So they went about another year in her life, and basically, she got the abilities back. And then basically, Lady Shiva was like, "Okay, you got these abilities back. No more excuses." And she's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "You could have killed me 3 times." Um, and just to show you the difference in Lady Shiva's martial arts ability and how bad she truly is, Batman has never physically beat her in martial arts. That's the one human being who who he has physically not been able to beat in a fight. If you know anything about Batman, Batman just almost always wins. And except for in the case of Lady Shiva. Well, here's the deal. This girl has beaten Lady Shiva at least twice. So there you go. If you're curious on the difference between one person and the other, she definitely is the in a lot of her own ways, she is the heir apparent to the throne of Batman. If there ever was a person who earned that right, it would be her. But anyway, the other cool thing about her, besides the fact that for a year or so in the storyline you didn't see her actually speak, was the fact that once she did learn how to speak and once she did learn how to fight, she was able to really kind of handle her own in a whole different way. Because like I said, she had to, of course, learn how to fight from a different standpoint, and also learn how to control the things she was taught. Because I mean, the girl was literally trained to do stuff like dodge bullets mid-step. I don't know how many people can do that ever, ever. I mean, I've never seen Bruce. I never saw Bruce Lee dodge a bullet like for real. Of course, I hear. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Yes. Hear stories about Bruce Lee, of course, doing all sorts of crazy things, like he would kick stumps and things like that in order to heal after getting broken legs and things like that to heal his body. But never did I hear him being able to dodge a bullet. Now, again, she's a fictional character, so of course I get that she probably really couldn't do it, but it's still impressive that they would create a character who was on par, if not to some ways, Batman's equal. Another thing that's interesting about that, I mentioned the whole thing about her fighting her mother and her mother telling her she could have taken her out several times during that fight, was the fact that she fought Batman on a few different occasions and fought all around Gotham and fought him to a standstill. And a lot of people could say, well, oh, he held back because of who she was. Well, not really, because he held back because he couldn't take her down. And again, you have to understand, if he's able to take out, Lady Shiva, if he wasn't able to take out Lady Shiva, but she has, then that says something about her fighting ability. She's definitely an elite group of fighter. She has since gone on, at one point she was trained by Barbara Gordon to be Batgirl, and then over time, eventually she got out of that and has now donned the moniker of Orphan. There was a storyline a while back where it's Batman Eternal, where she kind of took the orphan role, so to speak, and she was trying to find Bruce and try to tell him what was going on. But of course, the whole thing was, of course, at first she had to fight the other kids because they didn't know who she was, because of course she didn't look like herself. And so then eventually once they figured out, wait a minute, I've seen that fighting style before. I know who that is. I think it was Dick Grayson that figured out who it was, and she's just kind of standing there, and they're like, oh, it's Cassandra. And so eventually, if I'm not mistaken, she got adopted by Bruce. She is now his actual only daughter. Bruce Wayne has adopted a lot of children. And a lot of them into this war he fights. So, but anyway, I think that's interesting and cool. And so the other cool thing about her, I loved her costume design. I really enjoyed kind of the idea. It was an homage to the bat suit, but it was her own version of that same suit. So I thought it was really cool. And then the fact that not only she fights so well, but also that she could fight and not have to speak and not be distracted by language, which I thought, I've never really heard of that as a concept, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. So, some people are great at some things and then they don't excel at others. So for her, it was, the ability to speak was her biggest weakness for the longest time, because it didn't help her communicate with people. Which, of course, when you're trained to be an assassin of League of the Shadows, you're not really meant to be a communicating person. But anyway, so that's kind of her. That's her basic story. Like I said, she's now orphaned, and if I'm not mistaken, Cassandra has officially been adopted into the Bat family. As a matter of fact, there's a new book coming out, I want to say in January, where she will be, I believe she's going to be called Orphan again, or Black Bat, which is a character she was called for a while. And so she will be part of the new Batman and the Outsiders. And so that'll be her new moniker. I need to put some white in here to separate the sleeve, since Jason was here, and then I kind of put that black right up against it. And you come up with some way to add a little bit of shadow there in the middle, so that way it distinguishes, separates out. But anyway, guys, there you go. So I will do my announcement tomorrow on who I will be drawing for the next week. And I greatly appreciate you guys following me on this. Now, there are other Robins I could have drawn, but I didn't draw. I actually thought about doing one of the Robins that was on a team of Robins. The problem was, I feel like if you draw one of them, and there's only one of them that really kind of matters, because he carried over from that Robin book, and he's now the new Signal character. If you guys want me to draw him and tell you a little bit about him, let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, I will put my list out tomorrow as to who I'll be drawing for this next week coming up, and I will do the drawing. So get your comments in. I want to see them. I want to respond to them. You guys should know if you put a comment in my video, I've responded to every one of them so far, and I will continue to do so. You guys take care, and above all else, guys, be blessed, build blessing to somebody. Take care, guys.